Hi everyone, welcome to our latest YouTube where we're really excited to launch and unveil a whole new silhouette. Now I thought before I did that I might talk a little bit about our process in the range itself and try and give you some insight into the approach that we take when we're designing the shoes from a bigger perspective. That's before I talk about the very exciting new silhouette. So there's sort of two ends to the collection that we try to design to, and we classify them. One end is active and one end is sharp. So we're trying to create flat shoes that address those two kind of, categories of a woman's life and lifestyle. And we're always sort of designing to that and thinking about the ways that, I guess it's a little bit work and weekend, particularly pre-COVID, it was very much like that. But now that things have changed significantly with our lifestyles, it's more about trying to create a different mood, I guess, with different shoes. So, for instance, something like Liberation Loafer would be in our sharp end of the collection. And this shoe's now been in the collection this coming in fourth season. And this is just a really key, important classic silhouette that we think every woman should have in her flat shoe wardrobe. Then you've got something like the Journey Trainer, which is obviously the more active end of the collection. And that's obviously a shoe that you can wear on the weekend. You can wear it with your denims, you can wear it, but you can also wear it during the week with a suit. So I guess in a lot of ways, it's an aesthetic that we're speaking to. So one end is active and one end is sharp. So just thinking about that, I'm thinking about the new style that we're about to reveal again to you, and it's the Selkie boot. Now, we've had the Selkie boot in the past, and sometimes when we're building the range, we like to think of it like a mixtape, and there's all different tracks that can work well on a mixtape, right? Like you might have different genres, but somehow all those different genres work together on a mixtape. It's all about if there's those overarching themes that bring them all together. So when I think about Selkie boot, and if I'm using my music analogy in the collection, the kind of mood that I think Selkie sets is kind of a little bit Velvet Underground, boots of shiny leather. So it's been an important shoe. Last year when we made it, it was really popular. It was a bestseller and we loved it, but we had issues with the way that it fit on some feet that needed to be addressed before we could produce it again. So we have addressed it, and I'm going to show you the things that we've addressed with all of that in mind. So let's stop talking and get into the reveal. So the big reveal is our Selkie boots. So here she is again. So this is the cherry colorway that we've putting in for spring. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare it to last year's production so I can show you the ways that we've changed it. And to be fair to the shoe, this is a 39 and this is a 37. So you are going to see some significant differences, but we actually only have a 39 left in this one. And what you can see is there's a couple of key areas. The first is the shaft. So the shaft is this area here. And you can see with the original production how wide that was the whole way through. And what happened was, because it was so wide through the center, for some customers, quite a few customers, it would slip in the heel, and because it wasn't stable enough through the shaft for most legs. The other thing that was happening was because the curvature of the heel, which is this part here, was probably a little bit too flat, which we identified later on, that also caused the heel slip. So obviously we don't know these things until we go to bulk production, because in the sample room, it's a very different environment to bulk production and to what happens in bulk. So we can only know once we've manufactured it and then fix it. So, or improve on it, I should say. So we had all these learnings that we wanted to work with the factory really closely on before we released another version of this production. So we did do that. We've spent a lot of time back and forth getting this production right and getting it to the specifications we want. So the other thing that we did, which the factory advised us to do, the original style last year was quite high. And we actually, that was part of the brief on the silhouette that we were trying to achieve. But the factory recommend reducing it by 2.5 centimeters so that more people would be able to get their foot into it if they had a high arch. So some people, if they had a high arch, struggled to get their feet into this shoe because of just the shape through the girth. So we did. So we've reduced it by 2.5 centimeters. It's not enough to take anything away from the silhouette and to take anything away from the fact that it's a really cool Chelsea boot, but it's made it more wearable for more feet. So we've done a lot of testing on the fit, and we got, as we've been through this process, we had a 39, a 41, and a 37. So we've tried all different sizes to make sure it's really fitting really well on the foot on lots of different shapes. The other thing that I noticed when we were selling these shoes last year was this particular silhouette has, it's like customers have this real propensity to have a heavy heel strike in a shoe like this. I don't know if it's just like a power shoe with the square toes, so you're walking a bit harder. But I did just notice that there was more heel wear, and it wasn't a fault. It was just something that I felt I wanted to improve on and just to develop further. So what we did was we talked to our shoe repair guru, Anna, and we talked to her about like what the different stages are when we need to be looking at our heels and getting them recapped, because that is a process that happens with boots. You do need to get them recapped over time. And I wanted to assist and support that with our customers. So what we did is we've included a backup set of heel caps. And what I want you to do when you've had your shoes, if you know you're a heavy walker, at 3 months, and if you're wearing them every other day, as we say, don't wear them every day, but every second day, let the shoes have a rest in between wears. But if you are a heavy heel strike, we've given you the first pair of heel caps complimentary, so that you can take them to your repair store and they just have to replace the heel. And it's normally about 6 months, but for some people it will be 3 months when the heel cap starts to wear down, depending on how much you wear them. So you also want to make sure you do that before it starts to erode the wood itself on the heel, because that becomes a much more difficult job for the shoe repair to fix. And in fact, if you watch our video on caring for your shoes, you'll see that our shoe repairer recommends you put a topi on before you even wear the shoes. If you really want to keep the integrity of the original shoe, and just thinking about it logically, it's something that's scraping on concrete with your body weight, anywhere 50, 60 kilos every single day or every second day, which is another reason we say don't wear them every day, just to give them that break and let them rest between wears. So that's another innovation that we've added on that I'm actually particularly proud of, and it's something that we're also carrying out across our Liberation loafers as well, which the next production that comes in will be also putting in a heel cap. And you'll have this beautiful tarot card, which is the tarot card of strength, to remind you to keep your shoes strong, and they'll support you if you support them. So that's exciting. Now we're going to see them on the foot, because that's actually the most exciting part of it all, right? So here we go. I've got on the black ones today. Now I'm loving these with a dress. And you can see there the heel height, the shaft height that we've changed, and also the amazing square toe, which I think is like the highlight of the Velvet Underground reference I was talking about before. And that's why I'm wearing my leopard print dress, because I'm feeling a bit beatnik, sassy. But that's it. It's the Selkie. It's back online, and we've made 100 pairs of each, and they're coming to you very soon. So there was one more thing that I wanted to say just while we're talking about colours. Okay, really quickly. We have been sampling it in vegan. I know you guys have been asking, not en masse, but there have been some requests for vegan. So I want to put it to you. I've made this sample. It's vegan croc PU. I've also been playing with the linings on how, because the reason that we haven't made any boots and even loafers in vegan materials is because of the sweat factor. PU will make the feet sweat. and that will lead to degradation of the upper pretty quickly. So we've always been cautious on using PU on a full upper where the foot's fully closed in, because it can really cause the foot to sweat. We feel like this PU has got the right handle, and also the linings that we've been experimenting with have got a better handle for helping to avoid that. So we would love your feedback in the comments below. If you feel that you want to pre-order on the vegan, I'm happy to get them made, but I'm not prepared to do it until I've got at least 50 people interested in buying them, because most of our customers do prefer a leather shoe. So I want to support the vegan choice, and it's experiments that we're doing a lot of with these materials and trying to resolve it. And in our sandals collection we do it a lot because there's already aeration and the foot is exposed, so there's less sweat as an issue. But like I said, we've been experimenting. If you want to see them in vegan, fill in the comments below, DM us, and we'll work on getting them made. So that's Selkie. I'm excited. I hope you are too. So that's Selkie 2.0. You can click on the link below and take you straight through to the product page of this style and go to the website to have a look at it. You can also subscribe to our channel and like us, and you'll get alerts when we put new videos up, which we're trying to do these as much as possible to share with you the behind the scenes process and story of the shoes. Stay radical.
All right.